G'day, hi, and welcome. All right. Hope you guys can hear me well. Hope you guys can see me well. Sun coming straight at me. All right, I got a little tip for you. When you're going to do nature photography or like that, be at the focal length you want to be at. For example, I got a 70 to 300 here with a macro feature. This is my Sigma lens. Not the best lens, not the sharpest, but it does what it needs to do. Now, what I would suggest, if you're walking along, okay, let's say you're at 70 millimeters, and you see something, oh, but it's way over there, and you know you should be at 300. So now you got to go like this, okay, and focus and whatever, or autofocus, whatever. But if you have a good idea that almost everything that's going to be away from you, already have the camera, so now you only have to do this, or focus. So you're removing a step that you have to do. So it looks a little bit goofy walking around with your camera all the way extended. Some people do it just to, to show off, but there is a practical reason to do this. So you're walking around, it's like, take the, whatever. It's like, okay, oh, there's my shot. Okay, and then, okay, now, and then click, okay. You're walking along, you're already, like, okay. Click. There, much faster, right? And that's in and also too, if you can work in manual, especially with the focus ring, not always easy to do, but it's a good idea to do. So be prepared, remove a step. And there's a lot of other things you can do too. For example, if you're working in auto or if you're working in manual. Let's say you're working in manual and you're going for a dramatic effect, but you don't want to be in full manual. You just want to be in, say, partial manual, where your aperture priority, where you could put the shutter in auto and have the aperture just manual. But set the, okay, well, I'm going to set the manual somewhere in the middle so that if my subject's a little near, a little far, and what the heck? That's not good. Oh, hang on, put my lens back together. This thing's gotten a lot of use. There you go. Sorry about that. I was not expecting. Good thing I didn't lose that in the bush over there. Okay, yeah. So make sure your lenses are put together well. This lens has got a lot of use on it. So okay, that should be tight. I never had that happen before on me. There's bells. Is it dinner time? But anyway, as I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by my camera falling apart. Be in shutter priority or aperture priority, then you don't have to worry about the shutter. And the same goes the other way around. You can put it in aperture priority and adjust your shutter to say, okay, well, I want to say it's a waterfall or something like that, but you don't know how sharp you want it to be. You could just use the shutter speed to whatever you want. But most of the time, if you're going to be in manual, you're going to be aperture priority. So you don't really need to mess around with the ISO or the shutter speed as much. You can leave that in auto and just go aperture priority or shutter priority or whatever, or full auto or full manual, whichever you're going to do. But if you are working in full manual or full auto, keep in mind, like when you're walking around, if you think your subjects are going to be further away on average, like say like birds or whatever, there's no use walking around at 70 when you should be at 300 ready to go. That type of thing. Keep the lens on infinity to start, because a lot of times what will happen is, like, for example, my subject's really close, so I have to, okay, just a slight touch, and now I'm in, and click. That fast, right? Whereas if I got it all the way out, or let's say you know how far roughly your subject's going to be, okay, well, okay, he's going to be at 50 feet, so I pull up, I'm already on the 50-foot mark. Okay, he's close, and there we go. That quick. That's how you use these lenses and stuff. He's at 20 feet. Okay, I know that I'm walking. See, like I'm walking along the edge of the trees here. They're about 20 feet away. I could leave it at 20 feet. Pull up. I'm almost in, and there we go. That quick. And I'm already at the focal length I want to be. I'm already at the, I've got the camera in auto. Nine times out of 10, I shoot in auto. Unless I got time to play around with it. When we're talking wildlife, usually you're going to shoot in auto or you're going to miss the shot. Because a bird goes like this. As soon as you pull the lens up, and this is something I noticed, that lens, okay, maybe I don't know if the camera angle is catching it well or not, but that looks like a giant eyeball. And an eyeball to an animal, little tiny critter, is basically, you know, a predator to them. So with a bird, they'll see this eyeball on them before you even think about pulling it up. Their acuity is so fast. So again, be where you need to be. Okay, I know my subjects are probably going to be either at infinity, okay, or at about 20 feet in this case. Maybe they're going to be at 12 feet. Because I got 50 feet, 20 feet, 12 feet, 8 feet, 6 feet, 4.5, 4 feet, 3.5 feet, whatever you're going to be at. You can, depending on this one goes down to about 5 feet or whatever at 300, and then at 70 it goes down to about the same. So I have to, you know, I can't get that close with the lens anyway. Unless I'm in macro mode, then I can be at like 4 feet, 3.5 feet, whatever it is. But you could, again, walk around with it, say at 12 feet. Okay, there we go. In. That fast, click. That's almost as fast as autofocus. Maybe not quite as fast, but if you have autofocus, it's and let's say your target's at. Well, here I'll put it out. Okay, I'll put it in autofocus just to show you. Okay, my target is at, I guess about 10 feet here. Okay, so I got it, right? So that's pretty fast. Now this thing is settled at about 10, 12 feet, okay? It's already there. But now my target is at 50 feet. See, a lot slower, right? So, again, put it in manual mode. Okay, and I set it to where I want. Okay, I'll put it at about 12 feet again. And, okay, in. Okay, 50 feet, in. The other tip I'll give you is understand which direction to go. What do I mean by that? Okay, if I turn the lens this way, I'm going 50, 20, 12, 8, 6, about 5 feet. Okay, so right there, wait for the wind to go by a bit, sorry. Right there, I've got a huge advantage because I know if I look over there, I don't have to do this. It's like I'm at, well, 8 feet. Well, okay, the target's closer. I'm already going to move the lens. I'm going to pull up, and I know I got to move it this way. I got to move it to the left if I want to get closer. My target's at 50 feet. Okay, I know I have to move it to the right. I have to move it that way, clockwise. So there we go. You can't take a picture, you got lens cap on. So I already know which direction to go. I'm already at the focal length I want to be at, and you can keep it on an infinity, but if you know your subjects, if you're going to see them, they're going to be at roughly 20 to 50 feet or 12 feet or whatever they are, you could already have the camera in the ballpark range ready to go. So hopefully that little tip helps you. Shooting in manual can be a lot of fun, and sometimes it can be as fast as or faster than autofocus, and your camera doesn't need to do all this hunting. As long as you can get on target, it's just a quick, you know, if you're already in the range, you're already where you need to be, it's less work. So hopefully that works for you. So, all right, anyway, you guys have yourselves a great day, eh? And I'll try to keep my camera together.